Tired of feeling like you're not enough? Like no matter how hard you try, there's this shadow that follows you, whispering you're not capable, not ready, not worthy. You're not alone, but you're also not powerless. Because what if I told you that the very thing holding you back isn't the world, the system, or your circumstances, but your own belief about yourself? And what if one man, a quiet observer of titans like Edison, Ford, and Carnegie, discovered the invisible thread that binds all success? His name was Napoleon Hill, and what he found wasn't just theory. It was a blueprint, a path to unshakable confidence, forged not in ego, but in clarity, truth, and action. This is not about empty motivation. This is about building something unbreakable. Who was Napoleon Hill? Long before self-help became a billion-dollar industry, long before influencers turned confidence into a filtered performance, there was Napoleon Hill, a young journalist with nothing but questions and fire in his heart. Hill set out on a mission, commissioned by none other than Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate himself. His goal? To interview the world's most successful people, to decode their minds, and to extract the principles that made their lives extraordinary. And what he found? It wasn't talent. It wasn't luck. It wasn't even intelligence. It was belief. It was vision. It was the mental attitude, the self-confidence, that acted as the soil for every other success to grow. He saw it in Thomas Edison, who failed 10,000 times before lighting the world. He saw it in Henry Ford, ridiculed for dreaming of a car for the common man, and he distilled it into a simple truth. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief is not wishful thinking. Belief is a decision. And confidence? That's not something you're born with. It's something you build, thought by thought, action by action, day by day, mastering your mindset. So where do we begin? You don't build a tower without laying the first brick. And you don't build confidence without mastering the foundation, your mindset. Most people don't realize that self-talk, the voice in your head, is either a builder or a destroyer. When you say, "I'm not good enough," "I always mess up," "No one takes me seriously," your mind isn't just listening, it's obeying. It's shaping your reality around those commands. But here's the shift Hill taught. If you feed your mind positive commands, clear, specific, and emotional, it will go to work like an army engineer building the bridge between your current self and your ideal future. Start with this. I am capable. I am worthy. I am growing stronger every single day. Don't say it because it's trendy. Say it because it's true. You've survived things others couldn't. You've learned, adapted, risen. Your very existence is evidence of strength. Building a foundation of confidence. Still not convinced? Take 5 minutes right now. Yes, now. And write down every obstacle you've ever overcome. Breakups, rejection, loss, embarrassment, fear, pain. You faced them, and you're still here. That's not weakness. That's proof. Confidence isn't built on pretending you're perfect. It's built on acknowledging your journey and owning your scars as trophies, not shame. Identify your strengths. Celebrate small wins. Every time you made a decision despite fear. Remember that. That's confidence in motion. Cultivating gratitude. Now, here's the paradox. To grow into more, you must first appreciate what is. Hill believed deeply in gratitude, because when you recognize what you already have, your mind shifts from scarcity to strength. Gratitude isn't soft. It's power. It turns your focus from what's missing to what's working. And when you operate from a state of wholeness, not lack, you stop begging for permission to be confident. You begin owning it. I have breath in my lungs. I have lessons in my story. I have potential that's not yet realized. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to unleash it. Gratitude sharpens your lens. And through that lens, you begin to see not just who you are, but who you're becoming. But mindset alone isn't enough. You can't think your way into confidence. You must act. In the next part, we dive into the transformation from belief to behavior, from internal clarity to external power, because the next brick in your foundation is action. Most people think confidence comes first. Then they'll act. Then they'll take the risk. Then they'll speak up. Then they'll go after the dream. But that's a lie. Confidence doesn't precede action. Action creates confidence. Napoleon Hill said it best. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand. The truth is, confidence is built in motion. Every time you take action while you're still uncertain, while your voice shakes, while your hands tremble, you wire your brain with a new story. I am the kind of person who shows up anyway. That's real confidence. That's where power is born. One of Hill's most powerful concepts is something he called definiteness of purpose. Most people drift. They float. They react to life. But the confident, they're not guessing. They decide who they are and what they want. And they pursue it with fierce clarity. There is one quality which one must possess to win, Hill wrote, and that is definiteness of purpose. The knowledge of what one wants and a burning desire to possess it. So what do you want? Not just the surface answer. What do you really want to become? To build? To contribute? Clarity kills doubt. Write your purpose like it's law. And every time fear shows up, read it back to yourself until the mission becomes bigger than the fear. Faith over fear. Fear is normal, but fear is not a command. It's a signal, a test, a gate. And the key to walking through that gate is faith. Not blind faith, not naive hope, but intelligent faith in your ability to figure things out. Faith in the principle that if others can do it, so can you. Faith that success follows persistence more than perfection. This is Hill's secret sauce. He observed that those who succeed weren't fearless. They were faithful to their vision, to their work, to themselves. That kind of faith makes you unstoppable. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Napoleon Hill. So the question becomes, are you feeding fear or feeding faith? Because whichever one you nurture, that's the one that will lead your life. Imagination, the workshop of confidence. Here's a tool Hill loved, one that modern science has since proven. Imagination, he called it the workshop of the mind. And he was right. Your brain can't tell the difference between something vividly imagined and something experienced. That's why visualization isn't woo-woo. It's strategy. Top athletes use it. World leaders use it. Entrepreneurs, performers, visionaries. They all rehearse mentally before acting physically. So here's your assignment. Each morning, close your eyes and see yourself succeeding. Not just the outcome, the process. See yourself speaking confidently. See yourself walking into that meeting with power in your step. See yourself finishing that project, launching that idea, owning that stage. Over time, your nervous system adjusts. What once felt foreign becomes familiar, and what becomes familiar becomes possible. Confidence without discipline is a fantasy. This is where many fall. They start strong, then fizzle out. They wait for motivation to return. But the confident don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Discipline is self-respect in motion. It's how you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. And trust in yourself, that's the most magnetic form of confidence. Hill's work emphasized the power of habit. He taught that successful people create routines that align with their goals, even when they don't feel like it. Wake up early. Write your goals. Visualize. Act. Not once. Daily. Consistency compounds. And soon, others won't just see your confidence. They'll feel it. The power of environment. But even the most focused mind can be infected by a toxic environment. Who do you surround yourself with? Do they fuel your fire or suffocate it? Napoleon Hill warned of the invisible influence, the subconscious pull of people, media, and conversations that drain your energy. If you want confidence, you need community. People who believe in your growth. People who see your potential, even when you forget. Hill called this a mastermind group, a small, trusted circle where ideas, energy, and encouragement flow freely. If you don't have one, create one. Even one person who supports your journey can multiply your progress. So now we've laid the bricks. Mindset, action, purpose, discipline, visualization, environment. But the house isn't finished yet, because in the next part, we step into the inner fortress, where doubt still tries to sneak in through the cracks. We'll learn how to silence the critic inside, how to become unshakable, and how to turn your mind into your greatest weapon. The next step isn't bigger, it's deeper. The inner critic is not the truth. It whispers at night. It echoes before you step on stage. It questions you right before the leap. Who do you think you are? That voice, the one that says you're not enough, not ready, not capable. That's not your voice. That's the inner critic, born from fear, failure, and conditioning. Napoleon Hill didn't ignore this voice. He studied it. He saw that the most dangerous enemy to success isn't external, it's internal. You are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be. But to become that master, you must first confront the false king in your head. That critic was created, so it can be dismantled. Every time you hear the critic say, "You're not good enough, you'll fail. Why even try?" Interrupt it, replace it. This is where Hill's principle of autosuggestion becomes a weapon. He taught that repeating powerful affirmations rewires your subconscious, not just once, but every day, every morning, every night. Try this. I am worthy of success. I am capable. I am becoming more confident every day. I move forward with purpose and faith. Say it until your mind surrenders. Say it until belief begins to bloom. Because belief doesn't always come first. Sometimes it's spoken into existence. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill named 6 basic fears. And one of them, the most paralyzing of all, is the fear of criticism. Think about it. How many dreams have you buried because of what someone might say? How many times have you played small to avoid judgment? Hill called this fear a poison more deadly than cyanide. And he was right. So, how do you overcome it? By realizing that most people who criticize are doing less than you, risking less, trying less, creating less. You will never be criticized by someone doing more. So let their noise remind you. You're alive. You're daring. You're growing. That fear, that's proof of motion. Here's a little secret the confident don't talk about. Most of them weren't confident when they started. They acted as if. Not fake it. Faith it. Act as if you already are who you want to become. Walk like it. Speak like it. Make decisions from that identity. This is identity-based confidence. You stop chasing it and start becoming it. Hill understood the power of mental rehearsal. You become what you think about, he said. So, think like a champion. Act like a leader. Decide like a winner. Your identity catches up. Confidence isn't just loud. It isn't always charismatic. Sometimes it's quiet, still, rooted, and it comes from one thing: keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something, and you do it, you vote for belief in yourself. But every time you break your word to yourself, you weaken that foundation. Want more confidence? Start small. If you say you'll wake up early, do it. If you say you'll work out, do it. If you say you'll start. Not because it's convenient, but because it's who you are now. That's how self-respect is built. And self-respect becomes unshakable confidence. Let's talk about failure, because it's coming. You will fall. You will doubt. You will get rejected. You will hear no. And when it happens, the old self will want to give up. But the new self, the one forged through Hill's principles, knows this. Failure is not defeat. Failure is feedback. The confident reframe it. They ask, what did I learn? What can I improve? What's next? Every fall becomes a stair. Every scar becomes a story. Every setback becomes fuel. Confidence doesn't mean you never fall. It means you get up faster, wiser, stronger. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Napoleon Hill. So now you've silenced the critic. You've built belief. You've begun to act. You've taken the reins of your own identity. But there's one final piece. Because true confidence isn't just for you. It's a force multiplier, meant to ripple into others. In the final part, we go beyond personal growth. We explore how your confidence, your clarity, your courage can transform the world around you. And that is the ultimate legacy. Real confidence was never meant to end with you. It's not just about walking taller or speaking louder. It's about impact. Napoleon Hill didn't write Think and Grow Rich just to make people wealthy. He wrote it to awaken leaders, to plant the seeds of purpose in minds that had been trained to settle. Confidence is contagious, and your transformation, your resilience, your example could be the spark that sets someone else free. Think about it. How many people are waiting? Waiting for a sign, waiting for permission, waiting for someone to go first. When you rise, you give them that permission. When you take the leap, others start to believe they can too. Your courage becomes a mirror. So every time you take action despite fear, every time you hold your ground, every time you refuse to shrink, you become a walking message. It's possible. That's legacy. The world has confused arrogance with confidence. Arrogance shouts. Confidence speaks. Arrogance competes. Confidence contributes. The most confident people aren't trying to prove anything. They've made peace with who they are, and they use that peace to lift others higher. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be famous to be influential. You just need to show up every day. Rooted, real, ready. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Napoleon Hill. And once desire evolves into purpose, that's when your confidence becomes unshakable. Look at the most effective leaders throughout history. They didn't lead through intimidation. They led through vision, through integrity, through presence. Hill taught that every successful person had a definite chief aim, a burning purpose that transcended money or fame. So what's yours? Because when your confidence is tethered to purpose, you stop chasing applause and start creating real change. You no longer need approval. You no longer beg for validation. You become the calm in the storm, the one others turn to, the one who reminds people who they really are. That's leadership born from confidence. That's impact born from alignment. The daily ritual of confidence. Confidence isn't a one-time breakthrough. It's a daily decision. It's choosing faith over fear. Every morning, it's acting on your goals. Every day, it's realigning with your purpose. Every night. So, create rituals. Read your definite chief aim every morning. Repeat your affirmations with feeling. Visualize yourself already living your dream. Take one bold step daily, no matter how small. That's how giants are made. Not in moments of glory, but in the quiet discipline of daily self-mastery. What the world needs now is you. You've waited long enough. You've hidden long enough. You've doubted long enough. The world doesn't need another follower. It doesn't need more critics. It doesn't need more silence. It needs your voice, your truth, your action, your confidence. Because somewhere out there, someone is stuck, and your story is the key. Hill believed that the richest place on earth is the graveyard, full of unwritten books, unspoken dreams, and unlived visions. Don't add yours to the count. live boldly, speak freely, act decisively, and love deeply, because the confident do more than succeed. They awaken others. And now, it's your turn.